Well, hello and happy Sunday, and thank you so much for joining Touche Live. We love to have you as our audience today, and hopefully you're having a nice and wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Hi, my name is Tony Hill, and I'm the host of the show, and thank you so much again. I'm always thankful for people watching and commenting and subscribing and sharing, the content of the show. Special shout out also to our sponsors. I almost thought like insane in the brain, but that's that's not what it is. It's I think it's like brain something. But anyway, we'll say look at that. That's Michael Green. Shout out to his company, Successful Aging. His herbal teas are just absolutely amazing. You want to actually get that from his website, and we'll kind of put that on the screen later on. Another special shout out to Shaw Consulting for literally all of their support and their backing. They're actually part production, marketing, and management in the show, and a whole lot more. Also, TK Fitness, as well as Touche Fitness, and also a special shout out to EOS Fitness, one of the largest fitness companies in the world, I would say in the US. They haven't gotten overseas yet, but EOS Fitness has approximately 74 clubs and climbing. They are doing an amazing job. And Touche, which is tough, outrageously unique, challenging, highly motivated exercise, is within that club. So if you really want to get a workout, go to EOS Fitness. If you really want great service, go to EOS Fitness. Thanks so much, EOS Fitness, for all that you're doing, for welcoming Touche into your family. Now, if you have any questions or whatever, and if you like the content, also if you're tuning in right now as I'm speaking, please share, comment, and like this show. Okay, very simple. Also, we do have where you can make donations. These donations go to the furtherance of our show and the building of our show, allowing us to reach much more audience base globally. We are international as well. People are watching us all over the world, just to let you know, and thank you for the overseas people as well. So, I want to talk about, it's a hot topic I got right now. I want to talk about what the FDA is actually proposing on food additives found in fruity sports drinks and sodas. Now they're kind of like waking up. It's been a while, but now they're kind of getting everything together. Let me read here. The Food and Drug Administration on Thursday proposed banning the use of brominated vegetable oil and food ingredients, once widely used in popular drinks like Gatorade and Mountain Dew, that has been slowly phased out due to its link to potential health risks, including damage to the liver, heart, and brain. Brominated vegetable oil is a food additive primarily used for fruit-flavored drinks or sports drinks and sodas to keep ingredients from separating. It contains bromine, an element found in flame retardants. That's interesting. Last month, California Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill that banned 4 food additives, including brominated vegetable oil, potassium bromate, proparaben, and red dye number 3, becoming the first state to outlaw chemicals that are still allowed by the FDA. Now, that is really an amazing concept, because now what's happening is everybody's getting smarter. Hey, Jeffro, I see you came in on us. Thank you so much. And Jeffro Botanicals is also someplace. I mean, he's just a great guy. I miss him much. But thank you for tuning in to the show today. So going back to the information, now everybody is actually being leery about these drinks. These drinks are causing a lot more havoc than you can imagine globally. California being the first to step out and get it done. So please like, share, comment on what you want to hear. We're going to have these 5-minute hot topics to let you know what's going on in the world and keep you advised of any new and upcoming changes. Now, we're going to our program today is literally relieving lower back pain. Lower back pain, is one of the main issues that we all have. Where did it come from? How do you get rid of it? How do you deal with it? I mean, there's so many ways, but there is the right way, and then there is the wrong way. So what we're going to actually do, we're going to segue into this. Hey, we're going to bring Mike Green on to talk about briefly the intro into literally why do we have back pain. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Tony. Hello, world.
What's up, brother? Hey,
Everything
Mike.
is
Hey,
good.
Mike. You know I messed that. What is that brain? What is that email? A brain what? Insane in the brain? What is that?
Healthy in the brain at yahoo.com.
Healthy in the I'm thinking
Healthy
insane in
and the
the
brain.
brain. Insane in the brain. I don't know why I was thinking insane in the brain. Is that a Wu-Tang song?
We all are a little insane.
Special shout out to Prodigal Son. That's my guy, man. He's family, so I'm hoping he's watching today. But Mike, we're talking about lower back problems. So I'm going to allow you to spend the next moment with our audience to talk about why is the lower back pain so important, and can poor posture contribute to lower back pain? What are some other things that cause lower back pain and the like? There's more questions like that. I'm just running them down to you, but without further ado, I'm actually going to allow you because you deal with this a lot. Mike, for those who don't know, is actually coming to us live from Sweden, a beautiful country. It is literally, Mike has a wonderful fan base. He has a wonderful partner that's working with him, that's been working with him. Special shout out to his partner, who has been working diligently to get this message across on behalf of Mike's desire, his heart, his passion. So, hey, I'm going to be quiet. I can keep going on and on and on and on and on and on and on about Mike because he's truly blessed my life. So, Mike, hey, the stage is yours, brother.
Okay. Well, hello, world, and may this information get to the ones that's in need, and then also for those who are looking to learn and to educate themselves about lower back issues. Well, first and foremost, above all, if you have severe back pain and problems, then you must seek a professional practitioner or your doctor to get the help you need, because some back problems may require surgery. I give you an example. I had a client in Miami, and he actually had no more disc, the sponge from the disc, actually in his L4, L3, and L2. So it was totally gone, and it was bone on bone on the spine. So he had to get that replaced with artificial disc. Okay, so this means he was wheelchair bound for about a year. So the way I was able to assist him and help him to start walking again, because that's a major surgery, 3 discs removed and then artificial ones put in. Well, the secret was, which is really no secret, is that we started exercising in the water. In the water.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You see, because you're able to do things in the water that you're not able to do on land. You can float. You could be in the water with absolutely no pain at all. Right? Now, some people are more fortunate than others where they have these certain pools in their homes. And what I used to do was add magnesium salt to the water to really get inside the muscles and also to calm the nerves down some, especially if you have like sciatica pain and things of that issue. So it took us about 6 months for him to start walking again. But everything was done inside of the water. And I'm not talking about swimming. I'm talking about doing certain motions with your legs inside the water, certain arm movements inside the water. And then we went from there. But needless to say, He is well. He is walking now. He saw me. I was in Miami at Whole Foods, and he saw me. He was walking, and he started crying when he saw me, man. He was just like, man, I'm walking again. I thought I'd never be able to walk, but I'm
Wow,
walking.
yeah, that's an amazing story, Mike. And we have a series of questions that hope we will cover on this topic because it's really important. But the first thing, Mike, is why is the lower back so important? Why is it so important?
Well, the lower back supports, right, your core, right, your obliques, your side muscles here, and your core. Now, if your lower back is weak, then obviously you have a weak core. Obviously, you have weak obliques. You think of your obliques, your side muscles, as your beams. You see beams in a building. It's like you have a foundation, but then you have these beams that hold everything up, right?
Yes.
Now, your abdominal muscles, your oblique muscles, and your lower back, they are all partners, and they work together. If one is weak, it's going to affect the entire part. I mean parts of your core.
Right, because
now,
if I can say real quickly, your core is comprised of intercostal, oblique, and serratus muscles. Also,
yes,
which you referred to as the side, right?
Yes, correct.
Well,
And
so
now you got, yeah. So now you have people that automatically have this poor posture, and not only that, they do not stretch regularly. And I'm going to tell you something else. If you have weak hamstrings, if you don't stretch them, they are then going to pull down on your gluteus maximus muscles, right? Then that in return is going to pull down on your lower back. This is why you have to. Yeah, remember it's gravity. It's gonna pull you down.
Because I'm kind of visualizing that. That's why so many people go like this. They don't. When you have people do stiff leg deadlifts, which we're going to get into some exercises later. But when we finish, the first thing they do after they finish, they stand straight up like that. It's like the erector muscles say, "This is where your posture should be," because it's amazing how you work your lower back to relieve the stress. You go like this.
Yeah,
it's really interesting. That's a good point. And and Mike, the next one is here, and you're segueing right into that, Mike. So for the sake of the audience, I want them to be able to understand because later you're going to demonstrate some things. Can poor posture contribute to lower back pain? And that's exactly what you just said. If you got poor posture, and especially with those hamstrings, you are literally in trouble. You're destined to get that. What is that? You know how you see the elderly people, they're bent over, man. And they're literally
slowly,
and the body, the muscles act, it's almost like it's cement almost.
Yeah.
It's cemented in there. So to straighten up is not that they can't straighten up, like you said about the gentleman who had the back issues and now he doesn't have those things. When he saw you, he like, oh my God. I mean, you just blessed his life. You know what I mean? What are some other things that can cause back pain? What are some other things that can cause back pain?
Really simple. Picking up things the wrong way. Instead of using your legs, you are bending your back to pick up an item. I know individuals who have picked up after their children's items and toys and stuff inside their rooms and threw their backs completely out. I don't care if it's, you have a correct way to lift weights inside of a gym, right?
Yes.
But you can throw your back out by picking up a pencil.
What?
Yeah, simple.
Really?
By a pencil. You're not even thinking about it. You just, it's a pencil, I'm going to pick it up, and then there you go.
Yeah.
It's up.
And that's a really good, that's something because that goes into the next one is what are some effective exercises to strengthen the lower back. Now we have a 6 minute and 30-second clip. Mike is actually going to be demonstrating to you some of the different exercises, the effective exercises to literally strengthen your back. So we're not just going to leave you. We're not just going to leave you out there. This video right here is not Mike. Let me clarify. Then I think the next video will be him, but this video is to kind of show you some effective exercises to strengthen your lower back. So let's watch.
And deadlifts, because these two exercises, especially deadlifts, have been shown in multiple papers to elicit very high activity of the lower back muscles, simply meaning that free weight squats and deadlifts should definitely be a staple in your weekly routine, given that they have not only been shown to be highly effective for lower back strength and hypertrophy, but also because they are easy to overload with weight in order to continue adequately challenging the lower back muscles over time. With that being said though, there are a few problems with squats and deadlifts, which may even explain why we still see lower back weaknesses and imbalances in individuals that perform them regularly. First off, let's just face it, not everybody does them. Secondly though, we know that the heavier you go with these exercises, the greater the activation of the lower back muscles. But the truth is that a lot of people don't perform these relatively heavy enough to actually provide enough stimulus to their lower back. And lastly, for those that do perform them and may go heavy enough with them, multiple studies have also indicated that without proper stabilization of the pelvis, the much larger and stronger hamstring and glutes often tend to take over and do most of the back extension work instead, resulting in less stimulus and less strengthening of the lower back muscles themselves. Therefore, to fill in this missing gap, you want to incorporate the next two lower back exercises. The first exercise, back extensions, does this perfectly by stabilizing the pelvis such that the lower back can be better activated and strengthened to a much greater degree than other exercises, which has been consistently shown to do in the literature. However, despite the effectiveness and popularity of this exercise, most people don't perform it in a way that safely works and strengthens the lower back muscles, and instead just worsens the problem. So to properly execute it, you'll want to do the following steps, which I'm going to demonstrate on a glute ham raise, but the exact same tips apply to the Roman chair back extension as well. First, you need to set up correctly by positioning your pelvis at the top of the pad or just past it. Then, simply lower yourself down to the bottom position while keeping a neutral spine, and then ascend back up by using your lower back muscles until your torso is in line with your legs. But avoid going past this point into hyperextension, as this causes more and more spinal compression the further back you go. Instead, keep your spine neutral throughout the movement and stop before you go into hyperextension. Positioning the pad too far forward, which most people do, is just going to cause your back to excessively round as you descend. And for this exercise, you want to start out with a rep range of roughly 8 to 15 reps with your body weight, and then over time as your lower back strengthens and you can perform 15 reps easily, you can continue overloading the movement by holding onto a weight or dumbbells as you perform it. Now, in addition to the previous exercise, you want to also include an exercise that challenges your stability to a greater degree. Because as found in a paper from the Australian Journal of Physiotherapy, although high loading of the back extensors as we've previously done is an ideal way to strengthen them, an additional exercise that demands more stability from the lower back is required in order to selectively emphasize individual muscles that play a greater role in stabilizing the lower back, like the multifidus shown here for example. This is especially important since many people with lower back pain actually do have strong backs, but instead they lack proper coordination and stability of their lower back. And an effective way to improve this is by using the bird dog exercise shown here. Not only does this exercise elicit greater activation of the various stabilizer muscles in the lower back, but it's also been shown to do so with minimal spinal compression. In fact, going back to Dr. Stuart McGill's research, compared to the Superman exercise, this exercise brought out a much safer 2000 newtons of force on the lower back. But But again, it's vital that you perform it correctly. And to do so, you'll want to first get on all fours with your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and your back in a naturally slightly arched position. From here, brace your core and reach with one arm all the way in front of you while simultaneously kicking.
Okay, now you see that right there. That exercise right there, and the other exercises, which you got that extension. That extension actually, when you're looking at that, people do hyperextend. I know you've seen that in the gym too, Mike. And then what they do is they go down too far. And what happens is they're actually causing excessive compression on the spine, which later leads to an injury. And when you're looking at the bird dog exercise, you see how correct his hips are, how perfectly aligned. This is why people need a coach as opposed to a trainer. Let's continue.
Kicking back with your opposite leg until they're both straight. As you do so, push with your support hand down into the floor so that your upper back pushes off the floor slightly. Hold this top position for 5 seconds or so before returning to the start position and repeating with the other arm and leg. And you want to avoid raising your arms and legs too high, as this is just going to cause you.
Now you see that. How many people you see don't really understand that? This leads to literally a back problem. This is why people see you and myself, you and I, because now they got back issues. They never injured their back, but they never paid attention to how they're training. They always think more is better. And you probably see that too.
Yeah, well, Tony, I would suggest anybody, especially beginners, even for the ones that think they know what they're doing in the gym, to get a professional health coach, trainer, right? So they can teach you the proper form. And it's different from when you have a trainer that, you're looking at the trainer online. No, I'm talking about to have them present with you so they can correct any misstep you may have.
Because even though we love online trainers, man, we gotta, even when I'm online, Mike, I'm really meticulous about it. So let's go ahead and finish this real quick. We're almost
lower
done.
Back to excessively arch. Instead, raise them until they're parallel with your body and focus on keeping your back neutral throughout the movement. If this version is too difficult for you though, to start out, you can easily regress the exercise by reaching out with just an arm reach. And then you want to progress to a leg reach. And then finally, you can progress to both the arm and leg reach. And as for reps, I'd use Dr. Stuart McGill's recommendation of using a descending pyramid, such that you start with 8 reps aside for the first set, go down to 6 for the second set, and then down to 4 reps for the final set. And over time, you'll want to focus on increasing the length of the holds at the top until you're able to hold for roughly 10 seconds or so each rep. Now to sum this all up into a weekly routine for you, here's what I'd recommend. So based on research on the training frequency and volume of the lower back, you actually don't need much at all to see significant improvements in strength, and you definitely don't want to overdo it. In fact, multiple studies have shown that even for well-trained individuals, adding in just one lower back exercise 1 to 2 times per week was able to quickly and significantly increase their lower back strength. Therefore, what I'd suggest is that if you're currently able to free weight squat and deadlift weekly, then you'd likely just need to throw in the following 2 exercises once per week for a few sets each and just overload them as you get stronger. Whereas if you're unable to do free weight squats and deadlifts, or you just don't go very heavy with them, you can opt to do these more often.
Wow, that's really absolutely amazing when you look at all of that. Special shout out to our production team. They did oh my God, such a great job on that. And I'm hoping that people are watching and listening. Again, please subscribe, share, and like this show, and donate. We also have that. You go to touchefitness.com and you can see the donations is used to further expand our reach and our information. Special thanks again to, Mike, my co-host, for being literally so awesomely humble and patient. He has the same vision as I do. He lives what he preaches. Mike, I've got something else. Are there any specific, this is your expertise, stretches to help with the lower back? Now, we talked about the exercise, but in your guesstimation, and I'm sure you're going. We have a 40-second clip on you, but prior to the clip being shown, can you actually? Is there any specific exercises to help?
There's plenty, but again, I want to, because there's so many different back problems.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you an example. For someone that has a severe compression of the spine, then I would suggest that they start off with doing squats, especially with weights, because it's going to be more compression, especially if they don't know what they're doing. Then you're asking for trouble. Now, if we're there to guide them, that's a different story, because remember, we know exactly what weights they should use. I mean, for instance, somebody could be using 135 pounds, including the bar, but some people may not be able to take that and only can use the bar. And some people may only be able to use a wooden stick. To first get the posture down right and everything. And the same thing with the deadlift also. So if you have severe back problems, again, go to a professional practitioner first. And I would strongly suggest that you start exercising in the water. It does miracles. And if you have a bathtub, right, and take certain herbs that will assist you in healing your lower back problems, especially for tight muscles, muscle aches, and if you have nerve damage, as in like sciatica pain. And we could talk real quick about a quick herb named thyme. You could just wrap that up in a bundle, drop that in your bath water, and you add some magnesium salt to that, and then you're talking about some miracles that could be done. But I would say one of my favorite exercises for the lower back, and strengthen it real quick. Let me see.
Well, we're gonna. Hey, Mike, before you show us physically,
because I was going to show you, because you asked me.
Yeah, because you know what? I think you look really cool doing it. Hey, audience, Michael's on it, man. I'm saying, but Michael does this all the time. Take it. He's in Sweden, and the message is really huge in Sweden. He's actually working with Ukrainian refugees fitness help. We're going to talk about that before we go, but let's see the video that Mike has put together for us. Now, Mike, you see what you're doing there?
Yes.
Now, at any time, you can, I really would like for you to actually, that exercise is very common. Why that exercise, Mike?
Because it is a multifunctional stretching exercise. So not only are you stretching out your back and giving it some relief, but you're also stretching out your groin muscles, which is a muscle that people normally don't stretch. The groin, they forget about that groin muscle. It's right up there, the muscle. And if that gets tight, that affects the lower back as well.
Now, this one here is really interesting. This was at the beginning of the video. Wait a minute, let's go over that. This one here.
Yes.
Now, that one is literally for what specifically?
That is for lower back relief, and then also stretching out your hips and your glutes. When I slide that leg down, right? When I slide the leg down, then the glute starts to stretch. It also starts to stretch out the lower back, giving it instant relief. Right there.
And there we go. Those two. They're beautiful, beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, those are two of my favorites.
Now
that's another. Oh man, that's a good one, man.
Now let's go with that one. That one is what? Stretching what specifically?
That's your hips, some of your hamstrings, and then the side of the body that you're on, that you're stretching it, that's going to be the lower back part. So on
Okay.
that side, that's the left side. So now I'm stretching out my left hamstrings, my glutes, and then my lower back. Oh, this is a foam roller is a must-have. You gotta have a foam roller. Oh, this is one of my favorites too. Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. Okay, what makes that your favorite?
You know, because you're
because I gotta figure this one out, bro.
This is pure. This is pure core, man. You're working your core, especially when you go upward with your abs.
Right.
You know, you're and then the back slowly goes up.
It's like a cat stretch, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, some people say downward dog, but I wouldn't suggest if someone has a deep compression of their spine, that I wouldn't suggest this one, because as you can see, I go down a little bit and it kind of squeezes. And then when I go to the top, then that's when it kind of opens up and it gives it relief.
Oh, gotcha. Cool, man. Wow, Mike, man, that is awesome. So my question, Mike, in all of those, and I know, thank you guys for again always tuning in and watching this. I mean, you're missing some great information. Those stretches, as you can see, Mike also put on there how many you should do, and he also briefly on each exercise explained to you which one is important and what they should do. For more information, you can actually email Mike at his email, which is healthyinthebrain@yahoo.com. You could actually also, Mike is an expert in teas, and I also want to also put that out there. Mike, the tea is phenomenal. I've had some, and it's really, really good. It's you can tell that it's made with love, you know, because it's different, you know. But you know, going back to with all we talking about with the back and the stretching and stuff like that, how does nutrition and diet play a part in your lower back?
Nutrition is great, and it's interesting because we saw Jeff Rose. He popped up earlier, and you know, the copper is amazing, and that's another thing that can help with back relief as well.
And what about that? Because also,
and he has the cream. He has the cream.
Yes, he does.
You can put on the lower back. So I know that's amazing, because I know.
Yeah, because I've got clients. Yeah, I just had a client tell me the other day that she had some of that cream or whatever, and it's growing. Jeff Rose concept is growing, and she told me the other day, I guess she got some, and she said she put it on and it was okay. Because I actually worked their core the day before. She had a problem getting out of the bed. The
copper is an essential trace mineral.
Right.
But we need it. We definitely need it. So I would definitely put that in. It's with the copper along with the magnesium.
Okay.
The magnesium. Then when it comes also to nutrition, potassium.
Yes.
All right. You see when marathon runners are running, is it still 26.4 miles, something like that?
Yes, that's a marathon. Yep.
Oh, okay. So after they're done, running a marathon, what's some of the first things that they give them? They give them a banana, right? Yeah. Muscles is breaking down and everything. They give them a banana because banana contains so much potassium.
Right.
And the potassium, that's a natural electrolyte along with magnesium.
Right.
But, you know, they put them in sports drinks and all that stuff like that, and people just drink it and say, okay, Gatorade, and okay, I'm fine. No, the best thing is to get it from your foods. Okay, so you can find potassium, especially in bananas, even more so in all of your melons. Okay? And then along with magnesium, which is another electrolyte, right? Which you can find in your seeds and also fruits, especially pumpkin seeds. So eat your pumpkins, y'all. Pumpkins is loaded with magnesium.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you said that, because now Are there lifestyle changes that can help alleviate chronic lower back pain? Because when you have chronic, usually chronic is a more severe, and quickly, if you will, can you elaborate on that? Are there any lifestyle changes that can help alleviate chronic?
Absolutely. I would stay away from all fast foods, all junk foods whatsoever. Any foods that is going to create waste products,
Wow.
especially on your joints. Okay,
Wow.
that's what gout is. People got it on their feet, and they
Yeah.
they turn into like knobs, and they have
Yeah.
like they showed a picture of a little devil on your toes and your joints, because that's how it feels to people. But all it is an accumulation of waste products that you've been eating, that the
Wow.
body is not properly getting rid of.
So you
But
got to
see,
get, you got, how
eat
do
the
you,
yeah,
yeah.
you have to eat the proper nutrition so
Uh,
all of the organs can work in getting that. You
I
eat
got
certain stuff to keep a healthy heart, and you exercise to keep the blood pumping. You have to take care of your liver, because
right.
it's number one at getting rid of waste products, and then you have your kidneys.
Mhm.
But if you eating these junk foods and everything, if you're eating, you're drinking sodas, you have cakes and stuff like that. I'm not saying go cold turkey on everything, but
Right.
where is the balance?
Right.
If you're eating it every day, it's a big
Right.
no-no. So that's one of the biggest lifestyle changes, is definitely changing what you're eating daily. And for lower back pain, I would definitely start off with fresh fruits. Then you
Yes.
have your vegetables,
Yes.
your nuts, your seeds, your whole grains, plenty of water, and concentrate on your minerals, all the way
Yeah.
from the micro minerals
Right.
to your trace minerals.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. And Mike, now notice the word chronic is what we're talking about. Usually, if you had an accident or something, a car accident or whatever, then it's usually different. But we're talking about back pain that just comes out of nowhere. Because I've asked many people, why do you have a back pain? And they said, well, and I says, well, do you exercise? Usually it says not really, or the lifestyle. So that was a really, really, really good point. I actually want to thank everybody for watching. See, today, man, was really straight to the point. In closing, is there anything that you'd like to add to the subject and the topic that we talked about today? I don't want to belabor this, because we can talk like forever, even though the show is 1 hour in duration. Oftentimes, we may get finished with this subject a lot faster.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Mike, is there anything, like, let's take for example, for our audience, because we have a little bit of time. Somebody comes to you with chronic back pain. What is the most important, the first thing that you would do with them, and then afterwards recommend that they do when they leave your session?
Yeah. I'm first going to ask them the history of their back pain, because I want to know, where does it come from? Does it come from work? Did you pick up something at home? Did you lift something the wrong way? Were you in a car accident, which most people get herniated disc, and then they end up having sciatica pain? But then you have a person that's constantly bending at work all the time, and their back they could experience that stiffness in their back. So
Yes.
depending on what type of back situation you're having, this is
Mm,
how I can address it, because there's tons of different back problems.
yes.
But
Yes.
once I find out, I'll know what type of therapy to give you, what type of herbs, what kind of exercises, things of that nature. But we must get to the bottom of it. So if someone was to email me,
Right.
I would ask them, how did did they get their back pain? Was
I
it
see.
bad posture?
I
Do
see.
you have a beer belly that's hanging,
Mm,
and now it's starting, gravity is starting to pull down?
right.
You know,
Yeah.
some people that they just have beer bellies and their stomachs got bloated, and that
Wow.
caused lower back pain. You
Wow.
know,
That's
so
interesting.
chronic, again, just like chronic illnesses, is
Mhm.
something that's not passed from human to human. is brought on by yourself, unless you got into a car accident, some type of freak accident like that.
Right.
You can make some lifestyle changes. But
Right.
all in all, the number one thing to help fix any back problem is getting inside the water and doing exercises in the water.
And that's if you're already there in that chronic state. That's a really cool beginning. Yes. Hey, so
it could be preventive too. It could be used as a preventive measure as well.
Oh man, that's good, Mike. Man, again, you came through, my brother. Oh man, you have no idea how much you blessed me. I'd like to thank each and every person for watching the show, for their questions, their concerns. These questions that we gave spelled out today was brought on to us by the audience's concern, and I hope we justified and did justice to these questions. Another special thank you for all of our sponsors for their support. Thank you so much, Jeff Rose, for actually coming on the show today. I want to acknowledge, Jeff Rose Botanicals, his creams and his CBD. So please take care of yourself. Like, share, comment to our show. We do have a donation thing that you can click on. It doesn't matter how much. Anything you can give is good for us. You can go to touchefitness.com with that information, and we'll be sure. Plus, I want you to reach out to Mike. We are working on bringing Mike to the United States, so we'll keep you posted on that. For a lecture, for one day you can actually talk to Mike, and actually find out in person the questions that you may have for him. So keep watch on the show. We'll give you that information, and let us know what you would like to hear and discuss on the show so that we can actually do justice to your concerns. Mike, in closing, do you have anything that you would like to say encouraging to our audience, other than just your wonderful, radiant presence?
Thank you. I'm gonna take it back. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. So I like to say this. I'm gonna take it back to a little when my grandmother used to take me to church back in the old South.
Yeah.
And there was a song that they used to sing, and it's like this: I got a feeling everything's gonna be all right.
Oh,
I got a feeling
everything's gonna be all right. I remember that.
Be all right. Be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yes, sir. And I'd like to say, man, I can't top that, Mike. I've been watching you dancing and stuff, man. Yeah. That's Mike in Sweden. So hey, you see, he's in Sweden. He's not in America. That's why he's smiling like that. But anyway, here's a really famous statement or quote that I hope I do her name justice. Her name is Diane von Furstenberg. And she said something that was very profound to me about aging. You know me, I like to give you something so that you can eat off of. Aging is out of your control. How you handle it, though, is in your hands. Mm-hmm. So please pay attention to what we shared with you today. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Mike, my heart goes out to you and your family. Blessings. Brother, I love you, man. I love you. I thank you so much for your life. So, hey, guys, stay fit. And you heard it from Mike. Everything's gonna be all right. Be all right. Be all right. Be all right. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining.
Work them arms, work them legs. Strong for life because hard work.